Good morning everyone, this is I Home Bake. Now today it's all about tutorial how to proof and knead the dough. Now let me begin by proofing. Now there are so many different ways how your yeast can go wrong. Sometimes when your water is too chlorinated, when it's too much chlorine and adding the yeast, it doesn't proof properly. So what you need to do is get warm water from your faucet and set it aside for like 10 minutes. That way the chlorine kind of like evaporate, okay? So make sure it's warm. Now it all depends upon the temperature in your kitchen or your surroundings. When it's too cold, you need to proof your dough longer. When it's too warm, you can just set your water temperature, because the water temperature usually is 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, so let me begin. Now I don't have fresh yeast, but it's the same technique. Now I'm using active dry yeast. Alright, that is what you're supposed to do by. Now today I'm using active dry yeast. I'm going to add 1 cup of water, adding the yeast, this is active dry yeast. If you have fresh yeast, it's better. Mix this together. Now set this aside until we will see the bubbles. So the warm water and the active dry yeast is working together to form that bubbly, foamy mixture. You see? That means the yeast is active. Now if it doesn't form any kinds of bubble, maybe the yeast is expired. So throw that out. You see? Alright, you see how the yeast is starting to cover all the entire water underneath? This is a sign of active yeast. Yeast is a living organisms that like to be in the warm water or warm area. All-purpose flour, you can use bread flour or wheat flour, but this is the basic way how to proof and knead the dough. So I have the flour, adding 1/2 teaspoon salt. So mix this together. Now we can add the yeast mixture. That is 1 cup of water. Now this is 1.5 cup total of flour. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I'm adding a little bit of flour. So that is total of 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of water. So what we're doing here is developing the gluten. Now the gluten is the one that will give the texture of the bread and the flavor. Hands, put your hands here. Now put your hands here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch. Okay. So, and then all you have to do is bring it back. Bring it back. Okay. So using the palm and the hand. So you gotta use 2 hands. Okay, or you can use 2 palms. push, hold here, and then bring it back. I am developing gluten. So I'm going to knead this dough until the dough is nice and smooth. So you can use both palms, all right, like pushing your palm back and forth, front and back, front and back. Or you can just slap, putting air into the dough and fold, putting air, tap. So the kneading time is about 10 minutes or until your dough is nice and smooth. This dough is about ready. Now this is how to test the dough if it's good. All you need to do is put one finger down, and when you see the dough slowly coming back up, that is good. We're gonna put a dent, and when the dent comes back up, that's good. You see? I'm going to cut a little piece. When you see this, guys, that okay, this is good. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to set this aside until it is double. Alright guys, I am done for today. I hope you have learned how to proof and knead the dough the correct way, the basic way, the proper way, whatever you want to call it. So the next episode is going to be tips and tricks. Alright, so I mean, who doesn't want fresh bread, right? Just get your butter, and there's nothing better than eating fresh bread. I mean, bread is life. So alright guys, this is iHome Bake. So wait for the next episode and leave me a comments below and let me know what you want me to bake next. Alright, bye guys, it's iHome Bake. Thank you so much for all the support.